Authentic Sunnah, they tell us about the punishment that happens to the face, like the ayat that we mentioned previously, that the molten, boiling, scolding, murky oil would be poured on the face of the people, disfiguring them. So one of the ways that Allah disfigures those people who disbelieved in Him, rejected His ayat, made shirk with Him, fought against His prophets and the awliya, is that they'll be dragged over the coals on their faces, is that different things will happen to them in their faces, to be disfigured and other than that. From what was mentioned is the statement of Allah Ta'ala, يَوْمَ تَبْيَدُّ وَجُوهٌ وَتَسْوَدُّ الْوُجُوهِ. On that day, Yawm al-Qiyamah, some of the faces will be white and some of the faces will be black. فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ اسْوَدَّتْ وُجُوهُهُمْ أَكَفَرْتُمْ بَعْدَ إِيمَانِكُمْ فَذُوقُوا الْعَذَابَ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَكْفُرُونَ. As for those people, their faces are blackened on that day, it will be said to them, have you disbelieved after you were a believer? After Allah took a covenant from you that there is no God worthy of worship except Him, and He created you on the fitrah, have you disbelieved after that? Then taste the punishment of the
fire. Khalifa of the Muslims. And Umar radiallahu anhu said, indeed yesterday, just before I was about to sleep, you came into my mind and I remembered you. And I was unable to sleep for the whole night. I was tossing and turning due to my longing to see you, due to my love that I have, the love that I have for you for the sake of Allah. And so Mu'adh ibn Jabal, when he heard this, he mentioned and narrated this hadith, that those people who love each other for the sake of Allah, they meet and depart on this, will be given the shade of Allah on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Number 5, the 5th category. وَرَجُلٌ طَلَبَتْهُ إِمْرَأَةٌ ذَاتَ مَنْصَبٍ وَجَمَالٍ فَقَالَ إِنِّي أَخَافُ اللَّهِ. That man who is called by a woman who has some status and power, and she has wealth and she has beauty, and he is asked to make zina with her, wal-'iyadhu billah, and he says, indeed I fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the scholars link this with the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, and we all know the story of Yusuf alayhi salam, and he was seduced by the wife of the
At the moment, with all this credit crunch, etc., that you find, there's one business, I don't know here, but down south, that's thriving at the moment, and that's the old age pensioners' homes. To place your parents in a home, it's big business. One person, they were charging him approximately £800 a week to keep him in a home. £800 a week. Tasawwaru hada, think about this. Paying to have your parents just put away from you. Sounds strange, but you know, many of us Muslims, or some of us Muslims, are following exactly the same methodology of thought. Because remember, the wider community has a big influx, a big input into the way it creates your character. That's, you know, I'm not very startled at times to find that people with short thobes and flowing beards and faces covered, that sometimes you find vile, vulgar, repulsive language coming out of their mouths, and even cursing and swearing towards their parents. It's not surprising. Shouldn't be something surprising, because the whole culture breeds this concept of separating oneself from one's parents. That I am a man in my own right. Who are they to tell me what to do? What influence do they have upon me? We can see the fitna and the fasad that begin to take place, that in the disguise of quote unquote Islamic practicing, that my father is no longer my wali. On what criteria? He doesn't pray. He's not a good Muslim according to you. So now you are scot free to bypass your father and to marry whomever you want. And if you go and study the fiqh of zawaj and the role of the wali, that discussion may take place about, etc., does a person establish a prayer? It does exist there. But a large portion of the ownership of the wali remains upon the experience of life.
They have exaggeration in the position of Al-Imam Abu Hanifa. Wallahi, ikhwani, I don't know, just like you don't know, if Abu Hanifa is in the Jannah or the Nar. I hope he's in the Jannah or he's in the Jannah. And I pray that Allah Ta'ala puts him in the Jannah till Firdaus and puts us there with him so that we can meet him, inshallah. But for someone to say emphatically that he's in the Jannah, he's speaking without knowledge, and he goes against one of the principles of the people of the Sunnah. And the people of the Sunnah, they don't put anyone in the Jannah, nor do they put anyone in the hellfire, unless there's proof for that. Abu Bakr is where? Umar is where? Abu Hurairah is where? The companion who came in the masjid and urinated in the masjid is where? Huh? He's in the Jannah. The Mahdi is where? In the Jannah. Fir'aun is where? In the Nar. Abu Jahl is where? Obama is where? Where is Obama? Allahu Alam. He may embrace this religion and ultimately go to the people of Al-Jannah. May Allah guide him to Al-Islam. Make things easy for the Muslims. Some had it in my possession. And then he started telling us and asking us that we know about this toy that's called the Danana. And even a Sheikh Face who didn't know what the Danana was, so the Sheikh started explaining what it came from. It makes a noise from some Sikh or something like that. And we don't have any idea of what he was talking about at that point. He said, Ikhwani, that this Danana toy that he used to have, he used to, like any other child, he would bring it to the classes when he was young of a Sheikh Muhammad ibn Ibrahim, who was one of the biggest ulama from that area, in the history of that area. He would go to the class of a Sheikh Ibn Baz, another great scholar from that area and from that place. He said he would go to sit and to listen to them and to take the class, and he would bring with him that toy, the Danana, and he would hide it, and he would listen to the class, and because it made a noise that was really strange, he said after the class was over and he went out, he would play with his Danana like any other child. He said the reason why I'm telling you this is that it shouldn't be understood that to get knowledge is something that's complicated and is something that is problematic, and you can't have a good time. You have to give up your life and having a good time. He said you can do both of the issues.
ما شاء الله أحسنت. الترجمة كلها ممتازة ولا إلا قضية واحدة، إنك تقول إني حافظ ألف باء لام. ودي واصل اللام كان ناجح، ما وصلت اللام. هي 4 حروف.
So the Sheikh said the translation was good, and it seems like I translated everything, but I made a mistake, a serious mistake that even he knows, and that is, I said that he memorized alif, ba, ta, and lam. He said I never. He said I never reached up to lam ever. He said he memorized alif, ba, ta, and tha, and he never went up to lam. So that's a mistake that I said he went up to lam.